Antonia Marrero, welcoming you to the best of New York City's performing artists. Our city is the most diverse place on earth, and we're going to meet some of the talent who makes New York the cultural capital of the world. We'll hear storytellers reciting folk tales from Africa, China, and India. And we'll see the hottest hip-hop dance group and rock band in Queens. And we've got a weightlifting act, never even attempted in the World's Strongest Man contest. Let's get started with Anansi the Spider.
Long, long ago, when the earth was set down and the sky was lifted up, all folktales were owned by the sky god. One day, Anansi the spider said to his wife, Aso, "Why should the tales our storytellers have told for generations belong to the sky god? I'm going to win them back for people on earth." Aso doubted him, but Anansi went to see the sky god. Looking up, he said, "Your Highness, I have come to win your stories." Thunder blasted as the sky god roared, "Whoa, what makes you think you can win them? Kings have tried and failed, and you are not even a man." Anansi asked, "What would you want to trade for them?" The sky god thought a while, then said, "You must perform 3 impossible tasks. Bring me a live python, a real fairy, and 47 stinging hornets." "I can do that," answered Anansi. But when he returned home to tell his wife, he didn't know how. Aso thought a moment, then whispered a plan in his ear. They smiled and ran to a nearby river to sit on a log. A python crawled up for a drink. "Is," said Aso. "Is not," said Anansi. When the snake asked what they were arguing about, Anansi replied his wife thought the python was longer than the log, but he didn't. To prove he was longer, the python lay his tail against one end of the log and stretched his nose toward the other end. "Let me help," Anansi offered. He tied the tail to the end of the log as the snake stretched out and kept winding the rope around until the python was completely tied up. "Now for a real fairy," he said to Aso. That night, Anansi and Aso carved a wooden fairy and covered it with sticky gum from a mimosa tree. They tied strings to its head and arms, put a bowl of banana fufu in its hands, and brought it to the bushes where the fairies liked to play. When they hid behind the bushes, a fairy approached the doll and asked if she could have some of the fufu. Anansi pulled a string and the doll's head nodded yes. The fairy shook the doll's hand to thank her, but found she was stuck. Aso pulled the other strings and the doll's arms wrapped around the fairy, holding her tightly. "All we need now are 47 stinging hornets," Anansi assured Aso. The next morning, Aso picked a large gourd, carved a wooden cap for it, and filled it with water. Anansi climbed a tree above a hornet's nest and poured the water onto the hive. The hornets flew out of their nest, buzzing furiously. Anansi called, "Come in here where it's dry," and motioned to the gourd. He counted as the hornets flew in for shelter, and when 47 had entered, he capped the gourd. Anansi and Aso then brought the python, fairy, and the hornets to the sky god. Presenting them to him, Anansi asked if he wanted to count the hornets. "No, Anansi, you have paid the price, and now the stories belong to you." And from that day to this, the folk tales of West Africa have been called Anansi tales.
Hello, I'm Noelle Holly, speaking with storyteller Nicole Cosby. Nicole, who is Anansi?
Anansi is a trickster. He's a spider who thinks and acts like a person. Sometimes he's very wise, other times he's simple, depending on the story.
Where does Anansi come from?
Anansi tales originated in West Africa in prehistory. His stories then spread through other parts of Africa and to the Caribbean.
What was Anansi tempting the fairy with?
Fufu. Fufu is a dish of ground fruit or vegetables. It's very good.
What did you expect to find when you turn and look through me? Leave me alone with my mind, squeezing your hand so tight. What did you expect to see as you watch your feet take every step? Walking in circles ain't the way to be. Over and over, you're nothing, yeah. Scream as loud as you can if you want to. Running away from the pain, it's alright. Open your eyes and see what's around you. It's only the sound in the night. Where did you expect to go as the lights are flashing up ahead? It's all sleight of hand, don't you know that I'd rather be looking at you instead? Scream as loud as you can if you want to. Running away from the pain, it's alright. Open your eyes and see what's around you. It's only the sound in the night.
Love a child, touch your smile. Love a child, touch your smile. I love your drunk thoughts in my head. Confession waves to stop the road. You are the fire in my eyes. You are the fire.
Where did you expect to go as the lights are flashing up ahead? It's all sleight of hand, don't you know that I'd rather be looking at you instead? Scream as loud as you can if you want to. Running away from the pain, it's alright. Open your eyes and see what's around you. It's only the sound in the
Let's welcome the situation. Please introduce yourselves.
Dave Jessen, Buddy Greco.
Anita?
Mickey Bliss.
Okay. So what was the name of that song?
Fire in my eyes.
Who wrote it?
Buddy.
Buddy. How long have you been playing together?
About 4 years now.
How would you describe your style of music?
I
A
could-
bit hard rocking, a little bit of metal.
Melodic hard
Some
rock, I
melodic,
guess.
elements to it.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And who are your musical influences?
The Beatles.
I'd have to say the Beatles.
The Beatles. And you?
Chicago.
Chicago. How about you?
Him.
Him? That's a good one. That's a good one. Brownie points. So I understand that all of you sing on your CD.
That is true.
Yes.
Anita is really the lead singer, but me and Mike do a little
Okay.
bit of harmony with her, and you know, we kind of share.
I sing a little bit.
Share
Yeah.
the mic.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So which do you like better, live shows or recording in the studio?
Anita?
Live.
Live.
It's just more fun that way for me.
Okay.
I like live because it goes faster.
It goes faster. What about yourself?
I like studio because you get a chance to create and really hone what the song, the way you want it to sound.
Right.
You know.
And what about yourself?
I prefer live shows.
Live shows?
I'm the only one.
In a Yunnan village of the Lisu people, a rich young nobleman lived near a poor farm boy. One day, the rich lord said to the poor farmer, "Let us build a raft of banana logs and go fishing." While drifting down the river, the nobleman spotted a large carp and threw his spear at the fish. But instead of catching their dinner, the spear cut the raft in two, with each man on a separate half. At first, they drifted along together, but soon the current pulled them apart. The farmer floated up to an abandoned village. Searching the empty homes, he found two sisters hiding in a hut, shaking in fear. "What are you hiding from?" asked the farmer. "Where is everybody else?" The sisters told him that a giant snake and eagle had eaten everyone in the village, and they were afraid of being eaten too. But the brave farmer swore that he would protect them. At that moment, the huge snake crawled up, and the enormous eagle perched on the hut. As he promised, the farmer cut the snake in two with his sword and shot the eagle with an arrow. Then he announced that he must search for his friend, who might also be in danger. The sisters were so impressed with the poor man's courage that they volunteered to join him on his quest. While traveling, the younger sister did all the cooking so that her face was covered with grime. The older sister vainly preened in front of a mirror, doing no work. Finally, after days of exploring, the farmer found the nobleman. The nobleman saw the beautiful older sister and married her as soon as they returned home. The farmer married the younger sister. A week later, after a long day of farming, the younger sister washed the mud off her face in a pond. The nobleman saw for the first time that she was even more beautiful than her sister. He decided to get rid of the farmer and marry her too. So he invited the farmer to go hunting that night. At the entrance of a dark cave, the nobleman said that he saw a large boar coming toward them. The farmer threw his spear, but tripped in the dark. The farmer fell down the deep cave and finally landed in a village of tiny ant people. They had been trying to clear their fields when he landed, so the farmer offered to help by clearing their land with one swing of his sword. The Ant King decided the farmer was such a good worker, he would not let him leave. Forced to work for the Ant King, the farmer kept himself happy by carving a flute. One night, a green spotted dove heard his beautiful music and offered to take the farmer home in exchange for the flute. When he agreed, the dove and all her friends flew the farmer back to his village. There, he discovered that the nobleman had locked the farmer's young wife into their hut because she had refused to marry him. The farmer freed her and was so happy to be home with his bride that he immediately gave his flute to the dove. And to this day, the green-spotted dove sings the farmer's song, bringing happiness to the people of Yunnan.
We're speaking with storyteller Betty O. Young. Betty, who are the Lisu people?
The Lisu people are one of the more than 25 ethnic groups living in China's Yunnan province. They're one of the larger groups with a population over 100,000.
Where is the Yunnan province in China?
The Yunnan province lies in southwestern China.
And what does a dove represent in Chinese folklore?
A dove represents loyalty and a long life. The poor farmer in this tale was loyal to his friends and was rewarded with a long life.
That was fantastic. Would you please introduce yourselves?
My name is Alicia Perrin.
I'm Eddie Stockton.
And I'm Teresa Pelicata.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you tell us about this dance?
It's done to house music, and
Okay.
this is the DJ as well.
Wow.
And it's a mixture of what you would see in the clubs, some classical jazz, some African, obviously, and just a mixture of all of that combined together, and that's what this dance came about.
Wow. So, Alicia, how long have you been dancing?
Forever.
Forever?
Forever. I think I started at the age of 3.
Okay.
And I have been doing it ever since, and I'm not telling my real age. Okay?
You don't have to do that. You guys. So what are some of your favorite styles of dancing?
Definitely classical ballet, which is where my training started.
Yeah.
And that's what helped me to get to learn about all the other dances. So I would say definitely classical ballet, and then moving on to jazz and the actual true forms of jazz, which a lot of people don't pay any homage to. The old school dancers, which is like, I can't even define their type of movement. It's just soulful dancing. It comes from the basis of church and just everyday life, and that bringing, you know, just that stuff coming together. And actually the older dancers are the ones who brought us up. Who were able to give me. So I would say that I don't even know what to name that. And then moving on into house dancing, because hip hop, as much as I feel, it bit off a house, because house has been the big thing first.
The base for everything else.
Yes.
So you're a choreographer as well as a dancer.
Yes, I am. I work with a lot of children throughout Brooklyn right now, and then choreographing just seems to be something, because you have to teach them, so you also have to get them to also memorize the movement, get them moving and feeling it. So yeah.
Cool. So I understand you're a teacher as well. You teach dance classes.
Yes.
Okay.
I teach at Creative Outlet Brooklyn,
Okay.
which is a really, really good school. They allow the kids to express themselves and just be really strong in who they are as black dancers. Because there are always dancers, but as black dancers, they allow so much of their personalities to come out.
And to be confident.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
Thank
so-
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Long ago, the 5 Pandav princes were raised by their uncle, King Kuru. Yudhishthir, the eldest, was kind and just. Next was Bhima, quick in thought and action. Arjun, the third, was a mighty archer. And the youngest 2 princes were twins. King Kuru raised not only the 5 princes, but also 100 sons of his own. The oldest son was Duryodhan, and like his brothers, he was evil and jealous of their 5 Pandav prince cousins, for King Kuru had named Yudhishthir to be his heir. Duryodhan and his 99 brothers conspired to be rid of their cousins. Their chance came soon, when King Kuru sent the 5 princes to be his representatives at a faraway village festival. Duryodhan had a special house built for them, with every piece of wood soaked in oil. And when the Pandavas slept, the evil brothers set the house on fire. Awakening amidst the flames and smoke, the princes quickly tunneled under the house, emerging in the nearby jungle. Though they knew their cousins were to blame, they saw that 5 men could not fight 100. Realizing they would only be safe if their cousins believed they were rid of the Pandavas, the 5 brothers abandoned their lives as warrior princes and joined an order of Brahmin priests. While following the humble existence, they one day met a group of fellow Brahmins. The priests invited the Pandavas to join them on their journey to Panchala. There, the king had proclaimed a bride's choice. He would give the hand of his beautiful daughter, Princess Draupadi, in marriage to the greatest archer in the land. Arjun's heart leapt at the thought of such a contest and joined the priests and his brothers. A great mass of people entered Panchala, the humble by foot, the mighty by chariot or elephant. For 15 days they feasted while musicians, dancers, and storytellers entertained them. Finally, King Draupad declared the day of the bride's choice. He pointed to a faraway target suspended behind a brass ring and said, "Whoever fires 5 arrows through the ring and into the target may take Princess Draupadi as his bride." One by one, the princess's suitors accepted the challenge. but not one could even reach the brass ring. Finally, Arjun stepped forward and launched 5 arrows through the ring right into the target. Princess Draupadi walked up to him, placed the golden wreath of the bride's choice around his neck, and stood behind him as the Brahmins cheered. But the nobles threatened to attack Arjun, enraged that a commoner won the princess's hand. At this, King Draupad announced that this was Prince Arjun, and these were his 4 brothers. The nobles accepted the king's pronouncement as the Kuru brothers slinked away, fearing punishment for their treachery. But Yudhishthir did not seek vengeance. He decreed that Duryodhan would follow King Kuru as the ruler of the land of the Ganges, and the Pandavas would rule the western part of the kingdom by the Jamna River. And thereafter, the Pandavas and the Kurus lived in peace and harmony.
We're joined by storyteller Ami Shukla. Ami, were the Pandavas and the Kurus real people?
Yes, they were. These related families ruled north-central India between the Ganges and the Jamna rivers.
What is the origin of this tale?
The story of the Pandavas and the Kurus is from the Mahabharata, which means the Great Battle, one of the greatest Hindu epics. It's based on actual events from about 900 BC and has been recited in as many as 100,000 verses.
October 20th, 2001 was declared Cheer Foundation Day by former Queensborough President Claire Shulman. The Cheer Foundation's president, Howard Menkes, set a world record that day and received this certificate from the borough president's office. Howard, please tell us about that record.
Cheer Foundation Day was held in Forest Park in Woodhaven, Queens. On that day, I pulled a 616-pound anchor chain 100 feet.
Wow, that's a lot of weight. How did you train for this?
Antonia, good nutrition is vital. I like ring-dings, ding-dongs, Twinkies, and ho-hos after I finish my foo-foo.
That sounds yummy. Let's see you in action.
Here we are, boys and girls. This is a 616-pound anchor chain. It's 100 feet from where I stand to the end of this garage. This will equal my world record. Pray for me. And now, I'm going to attempt something never before done. I'm going to pull a 484-pound chain while holding 158 pounds in each hand. Kids, that's a total of 800 pounds. And I'm walking it back the way I came from. Ooh, I call it the double. now, I'm going to spend the next 45 minutes telling you what makes me so great. I